Hey, before this video starts, I wanted to let you know that we have a Discord server now. Join it so that you can talk about tech with us and other tech fans. You can join that by going to newsmakers.tech/discord or by clicking the link in the description. The period between Steve Jobs leaving Apple in 1985 and his return in 1997 saw a slow decline for the company, caused by mismanagement, failed adventures in new consumer electronics, and a computer product lineup that was messy, to put it lightly. Let's take a look at one of the many systems Apple released during the chaotic times of the early 90s, the Performa 475, and see what features separate it from the crowd, or not, and find out what the heck a Performa is in the first place. Hi, I'm Jacob with Mac Retrospective. Today we are taking a first look at the Mac Performa 475. Let's get started. Full disclosure, before the making of this video, I'd had exactly zero experience with any of the pre-Next buyout Macs. My knowledge of Apple ended sharply with the Apple IIe and IIc and picked back up with the iMac. That means this was the first time I ever had to deal with this. Yeah, and that list is just for 1993. I've heard plenty of people say that the Mac lineup was complicated, but it honestly borders on absurdity. I have no idea how any Apple customer could keep up. Take this system, the Performa 475. It's identical to the Performa 476, except for the hard drive size. It's also identical to the Macintosh LC 475, which was the education market model, and the Quadra 605 for businesses. That's 4 separate systems that are all the same computer. And this is nowhere near the weirdest thing you'll find in the Mac range at the time. So why did Apple use so many different names? Well, their strategy was to sell computers with different branding for different types of users. In this case, the term Performa just means that the system was sold directly at big box retail stores, not from a third-party vendor or mail order. The Performa 475 sold for $1,600, or just under $3,000 in today's money. At launch in 1993, it was a pretty mid to high-end system, but by its discontinuation in '96, it had taken a spot as a very low-end budget system. Here's what you get specs-wise. A 68LC040 CPU running at 25 MHz with 8 KB of L1 cache. 4 MB of RAM, upgradable to 132 MB, though Apple only officially supported up to 36 MB, a dedicated video card with 512K of VRAM, a 160 MB SCSI hard drive, a single expansion slot, and a bundled 9.6K external modem. The Performa 475 initially shipped with System 7.1, but can be upgraded to 8.1. On the front of our system, you can see the Macintosh branding and the standard Mac 1.44 MB floppy drive. On the back, you can see the power connector and switch, monitor out, printer and modem serial ports, SCSI port, ADB port, and the sound out and mic in ports. Our system was purchased on eBay for a steal at $50 and included the monitor, keyboard, mouse, and external modem. Now for the ratings. For Rarity, we give it a 1 out of 5. This is a pretty common model of Performa, not even counting the functionally equivalent systems. Price, we give it a 4 out of 5. Even if you don't get a system for a crazy deal like we did, you'll still be able to find some great bundles at around $100. Aesthetics, we give a 3 out of 5. On one hand, this system is pretty boring looking. On the other hand, its small form factor makes it look super cool. This system is tiny and weighs just 8.8 pounds or 4 kilograms, which really makes it an interesting looking system. Software gets a 4 out of 5. There's tons of great software available for the system, but some later System 7 software will struggle to run due to the low clock speed of the CPU. Ease of repair gets a 3 out of 5. While replacement parts aren't all that common, it's pretty easy to just buy a whole new system and swap out chips between the two to make a really nice working system. Also, it doesn't seem that this system suffers from a lot of the same issues with leaking capacitors that many Apple computers of the time do. Well, that's all for you guys today. Make sure to check out some of our other videos. I think I'm going to recommend you check out our first look of the Tandy RL today. It's another really small form factor computer from around the same time, but this time, it's a Wintel machine. Check that out, and I'll see you guys next time.